the day after my wedding, for crying out loud.
Wow, don't tell me you disappeared.
I had to disappear because my staff in the UK decided that they're not coming to work. So I literally woke up, looked at my wedding dress, and I turned over and he was like, go.
Wow.
The day after my wedding.
Your husband is...
He's
an
a
angel.
Miracle.
What? How did you start? How did you even bear the idea even way back in school?
People in Nigeria say you're a leader of tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
but then I would look at those people, they told us that when we were
10, 20, 30, 40, and they're still there.
So yes, I had a lot of energy and I wanted to do things a certain way, and I was rude here and I was doing that. Eventually, I was fired.
Were you able to use any of your knowledge in promoting your business?
It's so complicated because I'm such a multifaceted person. I mean, we started in England. Good Hair started in England. Eventually, had to open something in Nigeria.
All hair is processed. You cannot take hair from a donor and put it into your head.
Once you're a public figure, you become a target.
Look at all the companies we started. We have board members from Nigeria, but also from around the world, because we want to build world-class companies that outlive us.
Welcome to Omon's Couch, an entrepreneurship and career talk show where we help young entrepreneurs and professionals reach their full potential. My name is Omon Odike, your darling host, and I'll be bringing you amazing guests who have seen it all to educate and inspire you with their story. Our guest today is a dynamic entrepreneur who has built a thriving business across multiple industries with a focus on excellence in sales, retail, and customer service. Her leadership has inspired trust and loyalty through her brands. She's none other than Joy Adesanya Odunlami. Let's welcome her to Omon's Couch. Joy, I'm so happy to have you here today on Omon's Couch.
I'm so happy to be on Omon's Couch. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful
Thank
place.
you, thank you, thank you. And one would not even know that we just met a couple of weeks
back, we did.
And you struck me like a very, very serious entrepreneur. And now looking at your background and going to learn about you, I found that you've done remarkable jobs, remarkable, work with your entrepreneurship journey, and we want to hear more about that journey. So we have Joy here, who is, will I say, a diverse entrepreneur in diverse areas.
Yeah.
And she'll be speaking to us on her journey through her company. And I want everyone to pay attention to what she has to say, and so that we can learn and get some tips on how we can move our business. What inspired you to set up the AJ Skylar Ltd company and moving back to Nigeria to set it up?
So I was born in Nigeria actually, but my parents relocated to the UK when I was 2.
Wow.
So from the age of 2 to the age of 16, I didn't know about Nigeria. And I came back when I was 16 years old, and I just felt an instant connection with Nigeria. So I always knew that I was going to move back, but I had to come at the right age where my parents would willingly let me go.
Exactly.
So it was 12 years ago, going to be 13 years next year, that I moved back in 2012. And when I came back to Nigeria, I had no idea that I was going to be an entrepreneur. My own idea was I was going to work in corporate, I'll work my way up the ladder, I'll be like a C-suite manager and have my driver and a director. I had it all planned out, but they say man plans and God laughs. So into my journey in the corporate world, I decided to leave and I started my first business. And I've been an entrepreneur for the last about 8-9 years.
Almost a decade now.
Yeah, almost a decade. And because I'm like a serial entrepreneur, so I'm having like different businesses popping up, and it was getting quite frustrating in terms of dealing with different books and dealing with different aspects of the business. And I thought, why can't I streamline this under one umbrella? And last year I decided to open AJ Skylar Ltd, which is like the parent company. And under the parent company houses different brands and different businesses that we introduced to the market. But I wanted to make AJ Skylar like a household name. So when you hear about it, you're like, oh, what are they up to? What's under their umbrella? What are they doing? So that's really how the AJ Skylar brand came about.
Okay, but we all know two of your brands. The
Yes.
She brand,
Yes.
as you say,
Yes.
which is mostly, from my understanding, is lingerie.
Yes, it is.
Exactly. And the second brand is the Braiding Vault.
Yes.
So how do these two brands intertwine in any way or form to actually come up with, I mean, for you to have come up with AJ Skylar? How would we resonate with that name when we have the two different entities already, which are already popular?
That's a very good question. For me, I think the most important aspect of my business is customer care.
Okay.
So AJ Skylar is a business that focuses on customer care and focuses on ensuring that we can deliver exceptional customer service through whatever service we provide to the market. So be it a beauty brand, be it a personal care brand, be it hospitality, whatever we branch into, our core message is we care about our customers and we want to ensure that everything that we give them is exceptional. And that's where the AJ Skylar brand is kind of born. It's really just driving the message of your clients come first. And so we try to replicate the customer service that you will get in Shush Lingerie is the same customer service that you will get at the Braiding Vault, is the same customer service you will get if I was to open a restaurant, because I'm very much about the care aspect and ensuring that clients can connect to the brand and also have a sense of appreciation for whatever product or service that they're going to engage with.
So if I get you correctly, the AJ Skylar brand is mostly for the connection.
Yes.
That's the customer service excellence. Yes. Can I call it the quality check?
Yes.
For the two other
brands? Yes, absolutely, yes. Okay. I think that would be the best word for it. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, that's actually extremely wise. So you have personnel or people who actually run the AJ Skylar brand?
Yes, we do. We've got a full management team that runs it, and they're responsible for operational efficiencies across all brands to make sure that we are delivering at the level that we promised that we're going to deliver on.
Interesting. So after building these two brands, the She brand and the Braiding Vault,
yeah,
and you've had that thriving in Nigeria, how did you expand that to the UK, and what were the challenges that you faced?
It's always been a joy for me to take something made in Africa back to the Western world, because growing up, the images that I saw of Nigeria, they weren't very flattering. So
yeah, 16 years over there, not knowing anything.
Yeah. So it was very different when I came to experience it, because the Nigeria that you see in the Western media is always impoverished with poverty and all sorts, malnourished children, and just looks like nothing's happening for the country, you know, security threats and whatnot. And then I come and I'm like, well, they've got nice cars and they've got nice houses and the women are stunning. So yeah,
dress well.
Exactly.
The culture is so rich.
It's so rich. It's so rich and so vibrant. And I said to myself, I'm going to be a success story. I want to show women in the diaspora, young women in the diaspora, women of my skin color, that you can go back to your native land and do something and bring that back
to the Western world.
To the Western world.
For them to buy.
Yes. So when I left the UK, I actually said to my parents, in 10 years' time, I'm going to be back and I'm coming back with a bang. And literally 10 years on the dot is when I opened the Braiding Vault. In the UK. Yeah. But
so how's that going?
It's going well. We had our teething problems in the beginning. And that is because what you have to understand is the Nigerian market is completely different from the UK market, even in terms of self-care. The way a woman looks after herself here in Nigeria, they just don't have that time in the UK. You know, constantly working, there's bills, they're constantly consumed.
With other things, with work actually.
With work, right? So to have that moment, to have the self-care and luxury, they don't have it. So a lot of them go for long periods without even getting hair care service, you know, and they do a lot of DIY. And because they're doing the DIY, they're damaging their hair. Wow. So I used to have that problem when I go back to London to visit. I was like, what salon am I going to go to get my hair done? And it wasn't just about the salon, it was about the customer service you receive at those salons. So a lot of Nigerian-owned salons were great in providing service, but not customer care. So you had clients coming in and complaining about maybe people speaking in non-English languages, complaining about the fact that they had to be feeding the hair to the stylist.
Okay, the things that we do here in Nigeria.
So the things that we take for luxury, exactly.
It's a normal thing.
So I was like, why can't we take that to the UK? Why can't we show them that there's a different narrative and you don't have to associate pain with braids? And that's why the Braiding Vault just seemed like a fantastic idea to open in the UK.
Wow, amazing. Braiding here, it's beautiful. But I think even outside the country, everywhere in the world where you have Africans and black, skin people, we always still like braiding. So did that market thrive? Even after all the setback, did it pick up? Did it thrive?
Yeah, luckily.
And what made it thrive?
Luckily, it did thrive, and I would say because of pop culture and Afro beats.
Exactly.
I think that's made a significant difference to how people look at Africa and look at Nigeria, and that's kind of put us on the map. And now when you see R&B videos or pop culture videos, like everybody's rocking like their natural hair and braids, and it's more or less you have someone you can identify with. When I was growing up, you couldn't see that in the mainstream media. You didn't see that in music videos. You hardly even saw it on the magazines. I think the only person you can identify with was like Naomi Campbell.
I was going to say that.
But now you have a vast range of women of color, showing different versatile hairstyles. And the beauty of a black woman, 1 minute she's in a wig, the next minute she's in braids.
Exactly.
So it's the flip. The flip
is fast.
The flip is fast, and it just shows how diverse and how beautiful our culture is. And because of that, we've been able to embrace other cultures. So the salon that we have in the UK is not just for black alone.
Yeah.
We have people coming from all cultures coming to get their hair braided, and it's just beautiful to see because it's something that they're embracing, it's something that they're owning, and I'm really happy to be part of that journey.
Amazing. You're telling different narrative of Nigerians in the Western world, creating that through your business, and that's really remarkable.
Thank you.
Very few people can actually achieve that both at the same time. So now I would like to ask you, now setting up this business in the UK, you said there was a bit of setback. Could you expand more on that? What were the major challenges in that business that maybe you got to a point whereby you said, I think I've bitten too much, I can't continue with this, I'm gonna pack it up and just stick to the Nigerian market and sell to them. Did you ever have that moment?
Absolutely, I still have those moments.
You still do, even now? I thought you have picked up.
Oh, we picked up, but as an entrepreneur, you always feel like you're not doing good enough. You're not doing enough.
Okay.
You're missing the mark. And setting up the UK business was extremely expensive for me.
I can imagine.
First of all, it was during, it was
COVID?
it was just after COVID.
Wow.
So even when I went to rent the store and I was setting up all the aspects of the store, I will never forget, I was talking to the lady about setting up the water bill, and she was shocked. She was like, salons are closing down and you want to open a salon. That's remarkably inspiring. And I thought, oh my God, this woman just put the fear of God in me. And there was a lot of things you have to pay for. Like in Nigeria, you can come and open a business relatively quickly compared to the UK.
Oh, definitely.
In the UK, there's a lot of background checks.
Quality checks.
Yes, there's a lot of quality checks. There's a lot of background checks. You have to be who you are. Where's the funding coming from? So that already takes like a huge chunk out of you emotionally. And then buildings. Here in Nigeria, we have artisans around the corner. In the UK, artisans really literally charge you by the hour.
Yes. I'm on a leg,
Yeah, so I learned to appreciate the artisans we have here a lot more because somebody will come and, put a lick of paint on half the wall and tell you they're taking £100. And then you've got Barbarian Nigeria that's going to paint your whole house for like 100K.
Okay, exactly.
Right, so those are the challenges that I found. And then human capital was a big problem for me as well.
Over there?
Yeah, the mentality in the UK is a lot of people don't want to work, and because they have a system that is enabling them to stay out of work. So they have a benefit system.
Yes.
So they don't have to go to work if they don't want to, and they really don't want to put in the effort, especially when you have a business owned by a woman of color and there's other people of color in the business. There's always a case of why you? There's no unity in our Black community, which I find to be quite disheartening.
Yeah, because all the races,
They have
actually, they bond.
Yeah, they do.
Everywhere they are.
really, really do. But we are always looking for a way to tear each other down and why must you be on top? So for the first year of my business, I literally went through it with staffing. I think in the first year I had like 5 salon managers come and go. Stylist just wasn't turning up to work. We lost clients because we were looking very unreliable.
Exactly.
So there was a lot of factors that went into it that made me think I've made a huge mistake. Perseverance for me is key. And I have I am possible mindset.
Yes, I am
so
possible.
I keep I was like, nah, this has to work. I didn't wait 10 years to come back to the UK to say I failed.
Exactly.
So this definitely has to work. So, I started looking at different strategies in order to ensure that we can have the right people working for us. I started looking at what staff wanted. What can I do to keep you on ground? And really just matching with the right people that had the right mindsets was very important to me. So because of that, we've been able to keep our foot in the sinking sand. And
so you revamped the entire system,
Yeah.
but you had to find out what was really wrong to be able to sort that out.
Absolutely.
And so how long has that been since the time you set it up?
We're going to be 3 years next year, July. First year was horrible. This last 1 year has been absolutely amazing.
Amen. Well done, well done.
Thank you.
And just listening to you, I mean, there's obviously the God factor
Yes.
in everything that you do. And I can see that in some of the programs that you host.
Yeah.
So I want you to explain to us, how does God come into your entire business process? What has He done for you? So you can share. If you're enjoying this episode already, I want you to take a moment to please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and leave your aha moments in the comment section below. We would love to engage with you. Okay, let's get back to the show.
God has been so mindful of me. It's even emotional talking about it because I know where I'm coming from and I know the factors that were against me and I know I should be a failure. I should be in terms of all the negative things that were said to me, by teachers and by people that kind of give up on you and just kind of write you off, and mistakes that you've made and you're kind of thinking, yeah, I can never recover from that. But somehow grace found me.
Wow.
And I thank God for the parents that I have. My parents are pastors. And one thing I know about them is in every situation, my mama gets on her knees. She's like, I am talking to you about it. I'm going to talk to God. Yeah, let me pray. And the older I got, I started understanding the importance of just having that relationship with God and being able to go on your knees for yourself. So it's no longer my mama. Yeah, it's now like, what are you going to do? What conversation are you going to have with God? And when I really started having the conversation with God, He really just started moving me in another dimension. And He started connecting me and He started giving me the strategies and He started giving me the visions, and He gives me the strength, even when everything else is crumbling and there's a tornado and there's a tsunami and everything just looks like it's bleak. I see God, right? In the storm, I see God. And once I see God, I'm like, hey, let it, everything else can just go wherever it's going. But it will come back full circle and God will get the glory. And that has been my strength for the last 8 years, living in Nigeria, being a business owner. That has been my core strength. And I can't,
I think you got extremely emotional, almost in tears. I can see you fighting them.
Yeah, I am.
And could you share some of those, if they are entrepreneurship inclined, some of those challenges? Because I'm sure some of you who are listening to her, she's actually almost in tears right now. And I'm sure we may be going through a lot of terrible hurdles. But if she can share some of those issues and some of those challenges and how she was able to surmount them, obviously it's God, but you will know that you're not alone and that this too shall pass, no matter how hard they are. So if you can share one or two of them.
Of course. I think the biggest issue was funding for me, and you always hit a roadblock. When I was going to open the headquarters that we own now, we have 16 stations. It was a vision. I saw
16
it.
stations?
16 workstations for braiding hair.
Oh, okay.
The biggest that we had when I started was 5. So I had a vision. I walked into the salon one day and I realized, oh my God, we've outgrown this space. There were people waiting outside in their cars.
Wow, in Lagos?
In Lagos, to get
okay.
their hair braided. And I was like, this is ridiculous. They were sitting outside the salon on the floor on the streets to get their, and then I'm talking about proper prim people. They're like, oh no, we'll wait outside.
Are you braiding gold?
Well, it's the customer service. Yes. It's the customer service. We have to get you in. And I was like, okay, we need to move. And this was when inflation hit hard. This is last year.
Wow.
Inflation hit hard. So everybody's complaining, new government, cost of living,
which is
FX,
worse now.
Yeah, it's 10 times worse. And I knew we had to leave where we were and we had to go somewhere bigger. And I remember calling my mum and I said, I found the building, but I don't know if this is the building. And she said to me, she was praying for me in the midnight hour and God said to her, the next place we're gonna move to is a stone throw from where we were before. And I was like, oh my God.
That's exactly
This is where exactly I'm standing. And she goes, so God has led you there, God will do it. I was in the UK and I had an interior designer that was working with me. She gave me a bill. She gave me an
ridiculous
bill, right? And I was like, God, how am I gonna do this? I cried every day because now I'm talking to I'm crying behind the scenes, but every time she calls me, I'm like, yeah, I don't really like the designs. I need you to kind of change it because I'm not happy with this and this is what I want. But I was stalling. I was trying to buy time because I don't have the money. And how do you tell someone you don't have the money, but you have this big vision sitting on the table? And so every day I was crying. And my mom was like, why are you crying? God gave you this vision.
He will find a way.
He will find a way. He will sort it out for you. And so I had this bill in front of me and I had -0 in my accounts. Okay, how are we going to execute
Were
this?
you not saving?
We were saving, but we currently have 3 locations. So I've been bootstrapping for the last 3 years.
Okay.
I've been funding all my businesses for the last 3 years. Plus I got married. Plus I moved homes. So I'm dead broke right now.
So a lot of cost has come up.
Yes, a lot of things have come up that is just like, how they say in Nigeria, buzz bus.
Okay,
right? So it's bad
buzz.
right? So it's shaking me up a little bit. And I'm like, maybe I'm not supposed to do this thing. But in my mind, I have this urge and I have this push. And I gave her a deadline, the interior designer, and I said, okay, by next week Friday, I'm going to pay your money. Like, don't worry about it. Like, you know, let's start ordering what we need to order. And I was speaking with confidence. I would
never knew where the money was going to come from.
And I would never forget that day. I had just finished in the UK salon, and I just locked the salon up and my phone started ringing. And my mum was on the other line of the phone and she goes, how much did you say you needed again? And I said, well, this is how much I need. And she goes, okay, but if you can get half of that now, would that be able to do something? I was like, yeah, of course it'll be able to do something. She goes, okay, I'm gonna give you the half.
Wow.
And in the middle of the streets, I started crying. Like I was walking down to the train station and I stopped and I was shaking and I started crying. And I was like, no, this can only be God's. Because for her as well, she had just got an opportunity and it was her money. And I don't want to take from my mom because I'm trying to prove to my parents that
you can do it on your own.
I can do this, right? So she's like, I'm going to give you the money and I'm not giving it to you as a loan. I'm giving it to you as a seed. And I know God is going to do the rest. She gave me the money. 2 days later, my bank calls me and says, my name keeps popping up. There's a loan in place. Do I want to take the loan? I was like, I don't understand.
Nigerian bank or the UK bank?
UK bank.
Okay.
I was like, take the loan? Like, you guys just want to give me money? They're like, yeah, we'll give you money, we'll spread it across. I was like, yeah, okay, let's do this.
God has done it.
And that's how Thursday, with confidence, when the interior designer called me, I was like, yeah, send your account number.
Oh my God.
And I could just say that can only be God because it was...
He did the impossible.
The impossible, quarter to the hour. And he didn't allow shame to find me. And one of those loans now in the UK, we've practically paid off.
Paid it off.
So I when I say God is backing me 100%, I can say that with my
truly
full chest. Yeah, he really is.
It's a beautiful and a remarkable journey. I mean, a lot of entrepreneurs only see the good side of people's story. If I went to see, I'm saying, oh, she does it. She got everything together. She has everything, you know, set, no problems. Oh, her parents are in the UK.
Yeah.
But yes, they're in the UK. So what?
Yeah.
That doesn't translate to her doing a business on her own. You know, you had to, I mean, have a lot of uncertainties. You had to go through the horrors of not knowing what tomorrow will bring, and having to expand when you didn't even have money in the bank account, and had a lot of expenses. But through it all, you kept faith, and you kept faith in God.
Absolutely.
And I think that's ultimately what God needs from each and every one of us, especially when we are children of God at the end of the day.
I agree.
You know.
I agree.
So after all this, so what made you now take up the business to the next level, to a place where now you're recognized by a lot of companies or international bodies to have impacted the entrepreneurship community?
I think for me, excellence is key. And in my business, I have a mindset. Good is only as you can only be as good as great. So good is not good enough. You come in with good, I like that, that's great, but I need a great from you. And if you can give me a great, then you become a better version of yourself inevitably, and you become an asset to somebody else, and you become an asset to yourself. So everybody in my company has an entrepreneur mindset. Right.
In Nigeria here?
In Nigeria here.
So how were you able to get that done? Because not everybody in Nigeria has that.
I mean...
Did you train it, or you identify people?
It's training and identifying people. I always say to people, when I interview, I don't interview for skills, I interview for character. So when you're sitting in front of me and I'm talking to you, I'm reading you, because your character is what you're bringing into my business. Your character is going to stand for you, is what people are going to see first before they see your skills. I don't know what you can do with a computer, but I can see how you're sitting, I can see how you're rolling your eyes or your hands, or you're not able to articulate your words, and those things are going to affect my business. And if I feel like we're not connecting on that level, then I'm not going to hire you. And at the same time, I always want my team to feel like there's room to grow and you have a piece of this pie. It's not a case of Madame is sitting in the office and if everything goes, starts burning, she doesn't move. I put my sleeves up and I'm equally on the floor.
So you lead by example.
Lead by example. That's what leadership is. It's not just me dictating, it's me identifying areas that I can show them that, listen, you can make the decisions by yourself, you don't need me. You can have a piece of this pie, you don't need me. And by doing that, it changes their mindset. There's like a sense of appreciation from them as well, because it's like, she cares and she's looking out for us. So let's look out for the business, because if the business wins,
everybody wins.
Everybody wins. So I've been quite blessed in that area. Not to say
exactly you
don't have the bad eggs, because every group has a Judas.
Yes.
Yeah. But we thrive. We thrive through that.
Okay, Joy, your story has been very remarkable. Now you've been running your business for a while. How have you been able to balance your business, faith, and family? And running business, your three businesses across continents, both in America.
America's coming. No,
America is coming. It's my favorite. Both in the UK as well as in Nigeria. Have you balanced it all?
There's no balance.
Exactly.
There's no balance. There's no balance. I'm in and out of the country every 2 months. My husband, bless him, lives in the UK.
Oh, okay.
And so when we met, we had to have the conversation. First thing I said to him is, I need to know kind of what's up, because you can see my situation. I need to know if you need me to be sitting at home in the UK waiting for you to come home and being that wife. Because if that's what you're looking for, it's not going to be me. Right.
Wow.
And he was like, I met you like this. I have no intentions of changing you. You have to do what you have to do, and I support you 100%. And so for me, having that support system has made it easy for me to be able to
grow, to fly,
yeah,
to become.
Yeah, because there's nobody there's no expectations. There's no, you have to be home at a certain time and cook my meals. To be quite candid, sometimes I get home and he's cooked the meal for me, you know, and he's very understanding and he's very patient, and he knows if you, I mean, the day after my wedding, for crying out loud.
Wow, don't tell me you disappeared.
I had to disappear because my staff in the UK decided that they're not coming to work. So I literally woke up, looked at my wedding dress, and I turned over and he was like, go.
Wow.
The day after my wedding.
Your husband is
He's
an
a
angel.
miracle.
What? Is he a Nigerian?
He's a Nigerian.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a Nigerian.
Double hats for him.
I
Seriously.
agree. I still had partial makeup on my face.
From the night before?
From the night before. And I went into the store and I opened up the store and I'd done a full day. And that day my parents were holding a barbecue for us as newlyweds, and everybody was at the barbecue with my husband. And they were asking,
Where are you?
Where's your wife? I was like, don't worry, she's coming. And I got to the barbecue about 8 o'clock at night.
Wait, you went to the UK and came back same day?
Yeah.
That's mad.
And then he was like, here she is.
That's
And
mad.
then I said to everybody, hi, like, I'm so sorry.
Are you
And
serious?
I started crying.
Join us on Omon's Couch, where inspiration meets action. If you are a remarkable entrepreneur or a career giant with a unique story to share, we want to hear from you. Become our guest on Omon's Couch and empower others with your journey, experiences, and valuable insights. Use the link provided in the description below to apply for yourself or nominate someone who deserves to be on the show. Let's inspire together.
On that day, and he held me and he goes, no, don't do that.
Why did you have to go to the UK? Nobody could do that for you?
No, so we got married in the UK.
Okay.
We got married in the UK. He lives in the UK. We got married in the UK.
So where did you have to fly to?
No, I didn't have to fly. I had to go to, so where we live and where my shop is 1 hour's drive.
Oh, okay, makes sense.
So I had to-
everything happened in the UK.
In the UK, everything was in the UK. I didn't do no big wedding in Nigeria, and everything was in the UK. But it was the fact that it was the first morning as a Mrs.
yes.
After saying I do.
Yeah.
Like, you're supposed to be calling. I didn't even get to enjoy the hotel. We paid big money, didn't enjoy the hotel. I had to get up, and he literally packed everything, packed my wedding dress, packed everything, checked out of the hotel. I was at work.
Wow.
And so just having that support system helps me to
That's
balance.
a remarkable story. I
Yeah.
don't know how many people would be able to do that or understand that.
Yeah, it's very understanding. And it was like that for the first year. He didn't complain, you know.
Is he complaining now?
No, he's still not complaining. I'm so
Ladies,
blessed.
you get to hear
I'm
us.
so blessed.
A word.
Yeah, I'll be driving home from, like, sometimes we have clients that stay like extremely late in the
that's
UK.
true.
And I'll be driving home, sometimes I get home 11 o'clock at night, and I'll be calling him and I'll be like, I'm so sorry, like I should have made you dinner, like this is ridiculous, like I'm such a bad wife. And he was like, to whose standards are you a bad wife? And it was like, if I came back to this world again, I would still marry you.
Wow.
Yeah.
I need to find this mister.
Yeah.
Tell him thank
He's
you.
a blessing, he's a blessing.
Wow. So God gave you a life partner
He did.
for you.
He did.
And nobody else.
Nobody else. He allows me to fly, and that's what's made it easy. And that's why I can spread my tentacles. And that's why I can say I want to open more branches, because he is really not just, he's not holding me back. He's not holding me back in faith. He's not holding me back in ambition. If anything, he pushes me to even do more. And he's secure, you know. Some men will start getting threatened and start...
The late nights.
Yeah.
The everything.
Everything, but he's not even threatened. He's coming to Nigeria like in like a month, next month. And all the engagements that I've had so far, he keeps saying, don't let all the jaye finish, before I come, so that we can go together. And I'm like, don't worry, babe, I got you. So he's a very understanding man, and I think that is what's helped me in my faith, in my shuttling and holding my family together. Now, when kids come, that's a different story. We'll figure that out. But
yeah,
for
that
now,
would not be as easy, I can tell you.
But for now, the dynamics work for us.
For you.
Yeah.
Interesting. This is such a wonderful story of spousal support.
Yes, it's
at
important.
Its highest.
It's important.
At its highest.
Yeah, that's why I say marry late.
Yes. Marry what? Late?
Marry late.
Why? Why late?
I think when you marry later, you tend to have more security in who you are as an individual.
You know who you are.
Yeah. And you can identify what you want without it being needy or, it could be a logical decision, you know? So it's very quickly, I think when you're younger, you go off the emotions, infatuations, and all that stuff. I think when you're older, yeah, you're infatuated, but you're making informed-based decisions, you know? So it tends to work out a little bit better when you're older, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. Because I was going to say,
it depends.
It may go the other way.
It
you
depends.
never know.
True.
I think people's story are different and unique to
Absolutely.
them. So it has
Absolutely.
worked for you. That doesn't mean it's going to work for the next person.
I agree.
In fact, I think 99% of the time that will not work. I can tell you for free. A man is a man.
Yeah.
Whether he's old or he's young, they
Yeah.
just want you to be around.
Yeah.
And on the wedding night, for that matter.
I know. I feel so bad.
But he's an amazing man,
He
so
is.
there's no need. I think he
is.
has assured you that he's there for you,
Yeah.
regardless.
Yeah, he has.
So well done, and
Thank you.
kudos to him.
Yes.
The hobby.
Yeah, exactly.
So now, what inspired you to start the Table 10 mentorship program?
So I grew up the only girl. I'm one of 4. I have 3 brothers, and I'm the
Wow.
first child.
Are you tough? Not really. I don't think so.
I wouldn't say tough, but I give tough love, and I'm very blunt in my advice giving to my brothers and to people, because I'm firstborn. So you
I was
always
going to
wear
ask
that
whether
hat.
you're first, because they won't listen to you if you're
No,
the
I'm
last.
firstborn, so I wear that hat and I wear it, you know, very, very
That's
well.
a leadership role.
Yeah. So I didn't have that female figure aside my mum. I didn't have that female figure that I could talk to about things or about business or about, you know, it's not everything you talk to your mother about.
I know.
You kind of want somebody else in that role, and we didn't have that. We were privileged enough to have a lot of like aunties and uncles and church members around us, but it's not people you can really confide in, because first of all, you're a PK, a preacher's kid, so you have to be seen in
very
a certain
careful. You're almost reminding me, I don't know if this is the proper place to say, but like TD Jake's daughter.
It's a lot of pressure.
Yes, I mean, even your story.
Yeah.
Almost similar.
It's a lot
in
of pressure.
sense.
It's
You
a lot of pressure.
feel what I'm talking about?
110%, and I resonate with it. And then, you know, they kind of, at the end of the line, always kind of push you into ministry, and you're like, I'm going to go in the other direction. Yeah. So for me, when I started business, I realized that there's a lot of women that don't have like role models or accessibility to the people that they want to necessarily get in touch with. Either there's a fee attached to it, or there's like a long waiting list, or the people's schedules are just, your schedules are never matching. And my love language is acts of service. I like to give. It makes me happy to be able to give to somebody and see the change in them. And I'm like, well, what can I do? What can I do to my community, to people like me that didn't have somebody that was a speaking voice for them, or can say, no, don't go in that direction, go in this direction. And so Table 10 came about. And
So you used yourself as an
yes,
example of
an
what you went
example.
through.
Yeah.
The gaps. and
Yeah,
all.
the gaps. I basically identified the problems within myself, and I thought, okay, let me bring out a solution that could help many other women. And so every year I run a mentorship program. It's supposed to be for 10 women within a period of 5 weeks, and we just go through like different topics.
Every day?
It's once a week.
Okay,
we
once
run
a
the
week.
program once a week, and we give them like activities to do, and we congregate together like on a virtual call. So I teach the lessons, they get to ask questions, I give them an assignment, I see
And
them
all
the
is
next
on
week.
entrepreneurship or different
Yes.
aspects.
It could be entrepreneurship, it could be career. It's also about wellness and about mental health as well, because I think everything has to blend. Can't just speak from an entrepreneur aspect. You have to speak about looking after yourself. You have to speak about mental health. You have to speak about balancing family and faith. And so we kind of go into it all round, and then I, give that to them for free. And then after 5 weeks, I let them know, I've poured into you for 5 weeks. If you need a one-on-one session after this, here are my rates. So, do you know what I mean? But for 5 weeks, I'm all yours. I'm all ears. You can call me anytime. We can talk about anything, share anything. And I think that's just a little booster to kind of help you on your way from the beginning of the year. And you know, I've had remarkable, you know, testimonials of how it's helped shape their mindset and kind of push them in the right direction. Yeah, so it's something I enjoy doing, and I hope it grows into a bigger platform.
Your mantra, I am possible, is inspiring. What does this mean to you?
So it's taken from, with God, all things are possible. And when you look at the word impossible, it actually, when you break it up, it really is, I am possible. And so every time I see impossible, it's like a case of glass half empty, half full. Some people will see impossible, but I see the word impossible and see I am possible. And because of that, I constantly have to deliver. Like nothing is impossible for me. When my team tell me we can't, I'm like, give me a reason why you can't. Then when they give me a reason, I say, for every reason you tell me you can't, I give you a reason why you can. So go and get it done. You know, and that's just the mindset I think that people should have, and it would help their approach in terms of how they deal with life and how they deal with, like, you know, different situations.
Interesting. I think for me, entrepreneurs generally, if you don't have that resilient mindset, you don't have the hardworking mindset, you don't have the mindset of everything is possible, really.
Absolutely.
I don't think you can actually make a mark, and not even a significant mark at all. And I think if you look at all the successful people around the world, whether male, female, anybody, you find out that entrepreneurial spirit is I can do spirit. It resonates with every single one of them. I also share that same vision, I can tell you for free. And I also experience it in my own office here, where a lot of your staff will tell you, Amada, it's too difficult. I don't think we can do it. In fact, I think when you tell me that just ignites something in me.
Absolutely.
I must do that too.
Yes.
Now you said we cannot do it.
We must accomplish it.
We must do it. So I have that mindset too. And I'm like, the harder it is, I want to do it.
Absolutely.
The fact you say is impossible, I want to make it possible. And I think it's a very, very strong, positive entrepreneurial spirit that any thriving entrepreneur or somebody who wants to be thriving should have and must keep to, not just have it, but keep it till the end of the journey.
Absolutely, I agree with you.
It keeps you going.
Definitely.
So now I want to ask you one of the last questions.
Sure.
So what would you tell your younger self if you could go back 10, 20 years back? What would you tell your younger self?
20 years. 20 years ago, I was in a good place. If I can go back to my 20-year-old self, or my teen, just be patient. Be patient and just have faith. You know, sometimes we run ahead of our race because we are so consumed with the amount of information that we're processing around us. You know, the amount of things that are happening around us. We're too quick to look into other people's gardens. You know, we do things to ourselves in the hopes of it'll make us feel better or look better. But if you just wait a little bit longer, that image you're trying to achieve or that thing that you're trying to achieve will literally just fall into your lap. You know, so if I can go back, I would be so carefree. If I could tell my younger self, just be carefree and be patient. Because every single thing that you want, how you want to look, how you want to, you know, be received, the things that you want to achieve, it's going to come to you with resilience and hard work and with faith. But you've got to be patient. And there was a lot of times I wasn't patient. And because of that, I ended up in situations that I shouldn't have been in. There's a lot of friends I wouldn't have hung around with. There's a lot of people I wouldn't have got involved with. There's just a lot of things that I wouldn't have done. And I was doing them because I was impatient. I wanted to be older, quicker. I wanted to experience things quicker. And now that, you know, I'm experiencing like my 40s, I want to take my time. I want to, you know, enjoy everything. I want to be present in the moment. So if I can go back and tell my younger self, I'd be like, baby, calm down.
It will happen.
Yeah, it would happen. Just calm down.
It is time.
Yeah, just chill. And I tell that to a lot of girls that I mentor, because a lot of them, you know, they struggle with self-esteem issues, and they struggle with, you know, issues with their parents. And I'm just like, if only you can see where you're going, you would realize that you're an amazing soul. you're beautiful, and you're going to get everything that you deserve. You just need to calm down.
Wow.
Just calm down.
The message is very profound. I hope every viewer who has been listening to Joy and her beautiful story of faith, tenacity, hard work, resilient, even pain, gone through quite a lot of pain in the past, even if she has not shared every single one of them. But it tells you that everyone goes through something. It's the way you deal with it, it's the way you allow it to affect your life that makes the difference. And I think what she has used to center herself to be this successful in the business world, not just in Nigeria, but also international, and also winning global awards. It must only be God.
It is.
It's only God that has made this possible. She has shared the story. I didn't share the story. She shared her own story of God, faith, and everything in between. So thank you so much, Joy, for sharing this beautiful story. And I'm praying, and I know you're going to have many more years of success. I'm praying for you. I'm sure you're going to be extremely wonderful. You're going to go great. You're going to be bigger. I think now as the part, God has actually sorted you out. He's giving you a helper in your husband.
Yes.
He's giving you the vision. He's giving you the strength and faith in him, and the grace ultimately. And I'm sure you're going to do more wonders that people eyes have not seen, ears have not heard of the goodness of God in your life.
Amen.
We're not preaching here, but entrepreneurship without God is
nothing.
It's nothing.
Yeah.
So well done, and we're happy
so
to hear
much.
from you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on
Thank
Almost
you for
Couch.
having me on Almost Couch.
Okay, guys, you've heard from Joy, and I'm sure you all have gotten all your tips on how to grow your business. Now we're going to the fun segment of this interview. When I'll be asking her one simple trivia question, and I'm sure Joy with all her brains will be able to answer this question. So the simple question is, what travels faster, sound or light?
Is it not lights?
Yes, the answer is light. That's actually the simplest trivia question I've actually seen. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you
so
for coming.
much. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for watching Almost Couch. I'm sure you're eager for another inspiring story. So click here to watch another episode or click here to subscribe. I will see you in the next video.